Championship Saturday from Rec Hall. BTN Gymnastics presented by Pure Silk. It's session 2 of the Women's Gymnastics Championships here from Happy Valley. We began the day with 8 teams and dreams of winning a title that has now been whittled down to 5 after the afternoon session. Michigan, the leader, going into tonight's evening session and putting up an impressive number, the 197.55, the 3rd highest in championship history, and one that the 4 teams you saw there in the evening session are going to have to try to beat. The Wolverines look loose and focused behind their leader, GIanna Sampson, who saved her best for last. The final routine on floor, a perfect one for the senior all-arounder. Yes, a perfect 10 for one of the most elite gymnasts the Big Ten has ever seen. It was a performance that even impressed our analysts. 4-time Olympic medalist Shawn Johnson, a gold medal winner on the beam. She retired since 2012 and part of our gymnastics coverage here all season long. It takes a lot to impress her, and it takes a lot to do something that you have not seen in your gymnastics career. A perfect 10 was one of them.
It is a gymnast's dream to get a perfect 10. I have never got one. I have never seen one. So I freaked out a little bit when I saw GIanna get that today. And Michigan was a force to be reckoned with. They deserve it. They're the team to beat.
They are the leader going into this evening session, and GIanna Sampson is the leader in the all-around. Let's start with Nebraska. A couple of competitors there that could challenge GIanna Sampson, the two-headed monster, Jessie, DeZiel, and Emily Wong.
These girls have titles that go on and on. Jessie DeZiel, she's a former USA national team member. She's also won 9 titles this year, 2 of which are all-around. Emily Wong, she's undefeated all-around champ this season. So those 2 girls combined are going to be hard to beat.
And Minnesota's Lindsay Mable, just a sophomore, but has put her name up with those seniors.
Yeah, and just last week, she actually tied for the win in the all-around with GIanna Sampson. So these 4 girls are going to be head-to-head to the end.
That score tied the 2nd highest all-around score in Minnesota history last weekend. We have the first rotation, Illinois, Nebraska, Minnesota, Penn State, coming up. Gymnastics on BTN is presented by Pure Silk, moisturizing shave cream for women for legs that look and feel like Pure Silk. The evening session, session number 2 of the Big Ten Championships. All 4 teams here are ranked in the top 25. Illinois, 13th. That's the highest ever RQS that they have had entering the conference championships. Dan Kendig said he didn't watch much of the afternoon session, but he does know the 197.55 is the number to try to beat, but he won't talk about it with his team. We talked about that earlier.
If they shoot for a number, then I think things are bad. If we just got to shoot for the performances we're capable of doing, and that's all they need to focus on today, and that's what I'm hoping they probably know. I mean, just because, you know, technology and everything, they probably know, but the bottom line is we have not talked about it, no.
Nebraska going for its 4th straight championship crown. Kim Landress of Illinois on the vault. They have been hot, averaging a 196.675 in the last month. There is her vault lineup. Dan Kendig, back-to-back Big Ten championships. Of course, they won the 2011 Big 12 championship and the last 2 Big Ten championships. His starting order there on bars. Familiar names for Nebraska Cornhusker gymnastics fans. Beam from Minnesota, Meg Stevenson playing it safe. Sierra Thompson with an injury in warm-ups on vault, and so she has made a change. Now, Sierra Thompson is an all-arounder, so every event there will be a change, and Justine Cherwink is that change in the leadoff spot there for Minnesota on beam. And the host team, Jeff Thompson. Penn State is hosting for the 4th straight time. Taking a snapshot of it all right before they start. There is their forward lineup. The Nittany Lions starting out on floor, and will head to vaults, bars, and will end up on beam here tonight. Michigan, we showed you what the Wolverines did. They get to sit and watch here in the stands. Bev Plotke more than pleased with how her team responded when their backs were up against the wall.
I'm just extremely proud of every single one of them. You know, we did kind of put ourselves in a hole, but this week of practice, I knew this was coming. You know, they were very intense. They worked very hard. They were very determined, and you know, they came in here with something to prove, and I think they did it.
I would say they did it. We showed you the 197.55, the third best score in championship history. Michigan actually has 4 of the top 5 coming into this weekend. Desiree Stevens starting things off in our coverage here on the bars for Nebraska.
You can see there she went her ginger to a shoot over. It was a little rushed, a little underdone, but full in for a dismount, stuck landing.
Dismount was pretty good.
She seems pretty happy with it, so does coach.
Competed in the bars, all but 1 meet for Desiree Stevens. Justine Cherwink inserted last minute here into the beam lineup for Minnesota. As we had mentioned, Sierra Thompson out with an upper back injury. I just spoke to Meg Stevens here. She said they're just trying to play it safe. She's a little bit sore.
And a fall on the beam. First one up. Beam is never easy to start on for a first event. You always have your kind of adrenaline and nerves going.
And you don't know how much Justine Cherwink got to practice and got to warm up here on this event. She was not scheduled to be in the lineup.
You also have to think these girls have been mentally preparing for this for months. And to be a last-minute fill-in is really difficult.
She was a last-minute fill-in last weekend and reported a 9.75, but of course that will be a little bit less than that with that fall. She prepares here for her dismount. Hangs onto it.
A little bobble there. Just her dismount. Altogether, it seems like she came back from that fall, though. She stayed on. She was solid. Double twisting layout, stuck landing.
A solid dismount. Heading over to vault, Illinois. Heather Foley, another late replacement, this time for Sarah Fiedler here of the Illini. Fiedler added vault to her resume this year.
Going in with her Yurchenko layout full, stuck landing. Her form was a little broke, her legs a little separated, and I feel like she piked down a little bit, but overall, it looked very nice.
That vault happening moments ago, so her score coming in is a 9.775. Amanda Lauer, the junior, on bars here for Nebraska.
Starting out with a giant vault to a Tkachev. She gets huge height on that. This is a girl I actually grew up with competing against.
Twin sister Jennifer Lauer not competing with a foot injury that she suffered mid-February.
Nice double layout, little hop on the landing. Great routine.
Coming off a 9.8 performance there from Desiree Stevens. Nebraska is going to have to put up some high numbers there. GIanna O'Connor here for Illinois back on the vaults.
Another Yurchenko layup vault. She gets huge height off that vault, even opens up before her landing. I'd say the only thing a judge is going to take is the landing, the few hops.
Tying a season and career high there at 9.85 for O'Connor. We go back to the floor here for Penn State, Randy Lau, the junior and all-around competitor today.
You saw her great opening pass, double pike with a stuck landing. For women, they can actually land with 2 feet and then jump out of it, and it still counts as a stick. Just like that. As long as they show control, which she has.
Crowd getting into it. We are Penn State. There's a good contingency here of Nittany Lion fans who showed up here for the evening session to support the host team. Watch Lau in her final pass.
Going for a layout, 1.5 punch layout. Finishes it off nicely.
Randy Lau wrapping that up. She got a 9.85 there on that routine. The Husker fans Jenny Lang's family there. Her brother, Scotty, with the corn on the cob hat, and her father there with the wig right in front of him. Jack and Joni are her parents. She's from Pennsylvania. A large fan base here to watch her. Making just her 3rd appearance in the all-around coming into today.
Huge release move there. Just getting ready for a dismount. Stuck landing with a full twisting double back.
Jenny Lang, just a freshman, has just become one of those all-arounders there for Nebraska. Head over to Emily Lennon for vaults here for Illinois. She has done vault and beam. This will be her only event here today.
Front handspring, front pike with a half twist. Very difficult vault, a lot different than you see from the other girls. They're going to take deduction on the landing and a little bit of a form break, but nice vault.
Her score coming in at a 9.75 there for Emily Lennon. Head over to beam and Jenny covers. Straight week she has been on beam, her 3rd straight week as an all-arounder for Minnesota.
Dismount there, switch leap to a gainer fall. Takes a big step, should be about 2/10, but overall very solid routine.
In the middle of the floor routine, it's Cassie Stouter. Cassidy Stouter at career highs. All 4 events here this year. Certainly the kind of senior year that you want to have. 13 individual titles.
Penn State's having a lot of fun on floor. Really getting the teammates involved. Last pass here. Going for a round off, whip layout, front layout full. Nicely done.
A couple of solid floor routines we've seen from Penn State to start their day. Mary Jane Horth from Illinois is where we head to next here on the vault. Last week she did 3 events for the first time. She tore her Achilles in JO Nationals before she got to Illinois. She has now worked her way back.
Go layout full again with a very nice landing. You see the same vault a lot in collegiate gymnastics, but you're always looking for the difference in the landing, the form, and how high they get off the vault.
And she recorded a tied her season and career high with a 9.85 on that vault. We head back to Hollie Blanske here for Nebraska on the bars. A steady all-arounder this year. Has not missed a meet in the all-around yet this season.
Great giant fold to shoot over. Hits a perfect handstand. Double layout, great extension. Not quite sure if that's a stick, but a judge might give it.
Blanske's score coming in is a 9.85 there on that event. All 4 events taking place all at once. Amber Seed, when she was a freshman, won the vault back in 2011, and here she is as a senior, hoping to have the same sort of results. Let's look back at that freshman year vault. Here it is, where she was the Big Ten vault champ. That was in Minneapolis. Now here she is in Happy Valley, looking to finish her senior year off, perhaps with another title.
Same vault that she did back then. Front handspring, front tuck with a full. And just under rotates a little too much, so that will count as a fall.
Yeah, it comes in as a 9.225. Very uncharacteristic of her, especially for someone who has gotten a 10 earlier this year.
You know, going into championships, a lot of time when you have those type of nerves that much, it gets to you a little bit.
Jessie DeZiel on the bars for Nebraska.
Starting out giant half to a Jaeger, straight to the low bar. Great connection. Gets bonus points for that. All she has is her dismount. Full in, and a stuck landing.
That's the Jessie DeZiel we all know. Dusty Russell here from Minnesota.
My favorite mount. I love that. It looks so painful, but
unbelievable. Dusty Russell actually was scratched last weekend just via a sore ankle in that quad meet in Ann Arbor, but back and competing here for the championships.
I was saying last week, Dusty has the lines and kind of the unique artistry and choreography in her beam routine that judges really look for. It's different, and it really just makes her stand out.
She competed in beam in every meet except last weekend.
Jump pass. She does a lot of those quarter turns where you land sideways on the beam. It's a lot more difficult than landing straight on because it throws off your balance and you don't really have anything to look at except look down.
A lot of difficulty in this routine. A lot of unique skills, too. There's her dismount.
Gainer layout full with a stuck landing, about as perfect as it gets.
Her career high is a 9.9. That'll be another high score. We're joining mid-routine here on the floor. Lindsay Musgrove, one of the seniors here for Penn State. Going to medical school next year after she graduates.
Nothing like balancing a workload like that and full-time gymnastics.
Well, you know the phrase, it doesn't take a rocket scientist? Her mom's actually a rocket scientist.
Oh, okay.
Over at NASA. Lots of the parents here in attendance watching. Musgrove preparing here to end her routine on the final pass.
Double back. Great landing.
A 9.8, 9.85, 9.875, and a 9.9. Those are the scores so far coming in on floor for Penn State. Minnesota's Lindsay Mable. We talked about her from the start, how talented she is and only a sophomore. 6th in the Big Ten here on beam. She tied for 1st in this event last year in the 2013 championships held in East Lansing, Michigan. And there's her dismount. Lindsay Mable putting up a 39.6 in the all-around last weekend. I mentioned that was tied for the 2nd best all-around score in Minnesota history and tied her with Michigan's Joanna Sampson.
You can see a little balance check there, but pulled it back together.
Dusty Russell score coming in a season high 9.85. Her career high, as I had mentioned, a 9.9. So just short of that. This is one of the first times I've seen Lindsay Mable have a couple balance checks in her routine.
Again, it all comes down to those nerves. When you get a little shaky and you question yourself and you kind of think of the pressure, it can throw you off a little bit. She's staying on though. Shows an experienced competitor. Side aerial to a back layout full. Great connection. Huge bonus point to the stuck landing.
So she ends strong on her routine. We'll wait on her score coming in. Moments ago, Emily Wong on bars in the anchor spot here for Nebraska. A 2-time defending all-around champ. The defending Big Ten champ in bars, beam, and floor. Wow.
It's not like
Talk
her.
about not seeing things very often. You did not see that out of Emily Wong.
And there's a rule on bars that when you fall, a timer automatically starts, and you have 30 seconds to get back up on the bar. Otherwise, you are disqualified.
So what goes on in her mind in this moment? How do you regroup?
A lot of it is kind of shock. You're trying to talk yourself back into the consistency, into the routine, but it's just about getting yourself calm and refocused.
She has paced the Big Ten in the all-around competition. You mentioned at the beginning, she has not lost an all-around competition all season long. 9 straight.
Going for a giant full release move to a huge ginger, straight to the low bar. Just her dismount. Full in, stuck landing.
Solid landing.
Doesn't look like it phased her at all.
Emily Wong's score, though, coming in as a 9.325. Erin Buchanan here in the anchor spot for Illinois. Moments to go here on the vault.
Gutchenko layout full. Great extension and height off the vault. A little tiny hop on the landing, but again, it's up to the judges to take that or not.
And the judges give her a 9.875. Kylie Schermann, this is the beginning here of her beam routine. Every meet she has been on beam and floor. Just recently added beam and vault, excuse me, she just added floor.
Getting ready for her first flight series. Back handspring layout. Little balance check there, holds on though. Switch leap, straddle 3/4. Again, landing sideways on the beam instead of right on. Adds her more difficulty. Dismount here, round off double back, a little bit under rotated with a step, but the rest of her team was pretty solid.
GIanna Sampson is pacing all the all-arounders, and she gets to sit and watch with her teammates. The second rotation, everybody chasing Michigan. We've got it coming up. While watching Big Ten sports, add to the action with BTN Connect. See all the Twitter activity from around the conference, get in-game stats, and interact with our experts. Join your favorite team with btn.com/connect and get socially charged. After one rotation, Fighting Illini finish off their lineup there on the vault after the first rotation. And joining us now is head coach Kim Landris. And coach,
Hello.
your team has averaged over a 196 in the last month. What have you liked about them and the way they performed going into the championships?
You know, I think it's all about momentum, and we try and really be tight-minded, take one routine at a time, and really correlate what we do in practice in the competition setting.
And coach, going into bars, I know it's one of your stronger events. What's your girl, like, what are you thinking? What have you told them going into this next event?
You know, just do what we do. We do this stuff every day in practice, and so let's come here and show everybody at Penn State what we can do.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You mentioned the Fighting Illini, the highest ever RQS entering the conference championships. Their vault results paced by Erin Buchanan of the freshman. Here's another look at her vault. Gianna O'Connor, Mary Jane Horth, who has entered into the lineup just recently, pacing behind Erin Buchanan. For Nebraska, as they warm up here on the beam, those are your bar results. Jessie DeZiel leading the way with a 9.9 and an uncharacteristic 9.325 there from Emily Wong. Minnesota, as they get prepared here for the floor, those are their beam results. And Lindsay Mable had a couple of balance checks, but still was able to record the 9.9 there on the beam. And the results there on the floors. They prepare to warm up on the vaults. A three-way tie. Emma Sibson, one of the freshmen here that the Nittany Lions have recruited to try and fill the void of a Sharia Musser who graduated last year. There's a look at some of her floor routine from the first rotation. And so, the team story here after one rotation. Penn State, 49-425. And you look at session one, what Michigan was at after the first rotation. Michigan had a 49.350. So, theoretically, if Penn State could keep pace, they could knock off the Michigan Wolverines. Remember, the Nittany Lions starting out on floor. Michigan started out on vaults in session one versus session two. Michigan Wolverines sitting in attendance has to sit and wait and watch to see if they're good enough to win the title. We're waiting on the final warm-ups here to begin our second rotation. Watch Dan Kendig watch his team warm up. And last night at the Pagula Ice Center was the banquet, the gymnastics banquet, where all 8 teams gather around together. Awards are handed out, individual honors. The all Big Ten honors are handed out. The seniors are honored. And I mean, what a great facility. First of all, the ice hockey arena is. Seeing that team in its first year in Big Ten conference play, in its second year as a varsity sport. And what a nice event. Always great to have all the teams kind of gathered together before the championships begin.
It's a good way to kind of get the nerves settled and get your mind off the championship that you've been thinking about for so long.
I know some of these competitors know each other from club gymnastics, but it seems like your opponent suddenly becomes human, and you can sit down and break some bread and chat and talk to them as a student athlete, not just as a competitor.
Exactly. And finally get to get the leotards off and just kind of be normal for a little while.
We're going to start our second rotation here with Jordan Nailway of Illinois, leading off on the bars and the floor here tonight. Junior out of Vernon Hills, Illinois. Got a career high last weekend at 9.875.
Huge starting move. A shapash straight down to the low bar to a shoot over. One of the harder releases you can do. Just for dismount, giant full to double back.
And just the tiny step there at the end. Amanda Lauer, we go live to the beam for Nebraska. We mentioned her twin sister, Jen Lauer, a very good beam specialist. A foot injury, and she is out for the season.
See there, straddle three-quarter jump, landing sideways on the beam again.
3 times she has hit her career high this year. 9.8 for Amanda Lauer.
Just her dismount here, round off. 1.5 twisting layout with a stuck landing. Very nicely done.
We'll head over to the vault in Penn State. Lindsay Musgrove. You see her floor score, the 9.9.
Going in with your Chenko layout half.
Hang on.
Again there. Not sure what a judge will determine that as, but first impression would be stick.
Well, the 9.75 was their final impression.
So it was a step in their impression.
I want to remind you, too, that in these championships, you see the 4 judges there that are at each event. Now, you take out the top and the bottom score, and you average in the 2 middle scores here for the championships, which is different. You have the 4 judges in championships. You have only 2 judges in dual meets and tri-meets. This is the session number 2 between Penn State, Illinois, Nebraska, and Minnesota. GIanna O'Connor moments ago here on the bars for Illinois.
Very aggressive bar worker. Really attacks her routine. Huge release move right here. She goes giant full to Takachev.
receiving a second-team All-Big Ten honoree this year.
Great extension on her double layout. Small, tiny hop, but should be a very high-scoring routine.
Jordan Nailway before her recording a 9.775. We will wait on O'Connor's score. Go back to Krystal Welsh here on vault for Penn State.
Yurchenko half on front pike and stuck landing. It's about as nice as it gets.
Love the reaction. A career high and a season high 9.9 for that, for Krystal Welsh. What a vault that was.
I don't know where they're coming 10th.
Heading back to Beam here for Nebraska. And Hollie Blanske, all-arounder, sophomore. Came on strong late freshman year. And a senior. She did 3 events last year. She's now an all-rounder this year.
Just her dismount here, round off, double twisting layout, stuck landing.
She almost surprised herself.
I think she did.
Mary Jane Horth. Talk about someone who's come on here as of late. Competing in the last 5 meets on the bars here for Illinois. Coming off that injury.
Illinois has such high difficulty level on the bars. They throw so many release moves. They have great form, huge dismounts. I'd say it's their best event.
Now she tried to hold it, took a little bit step back. Is that going to count?
Again, it's subjective. You know, it's whatever the first impression that a judge sees. So it could be a stick, it could be a giant step. I mean, it's up to them.
Well, GIanna O'Connor, her teammate, a 9.8 before her here for Illinois. We'll go back to Beam in Nebraska in just a second. We will go to Randy Lauer here on vault for Penn State.
Yurchenko layout full. Stuck landing again. Penn State's on a roll.
A 9.825 for that one happening moments ago there for Randy Lau. Back on Beam, Jenny Lang.
A little balance check there that you can see she saved. Tried to hide it with her dance moves a little bit. You always get clever.
The freshman, Pennsylvania native, who showed you her family. A very boisterous and enthusiastic family you have to be. With the kind of outfits that they come to this event with. Jenny Lang, last weekend a 9.875 on this event.
Front tuck. Little balance check and a step. Might cost her a 10th or 2.
Her teammate Hollie Blanske before her a 9.9. That's a career high. She surprised herself into a career high.
Just her dismount here. Gainer layout, pike full. And a little hop on the landing.
Going to Liz McNabb here on the bars for Illinois.
Another former national team member. Starts out with a giant full. Gotcha. Nicely done. The connection there actually gives her bonus points. Dismount. Great extension double layout. Pretty big step there. Will cost her a couple 10ths. But overall, great routine.
Last year in the NCAA championship, she tied for the team high score in that event. Let's head back to the vault and Cassidy Stouter here for Penn State.
Yurchenko layout half. Kind of falls forward with it. A little too much adrenaline and power, but good form in it.
That score coming in as a 9.775. Sarah Fiedler, this is our first time getting a look at her here tonight. It was scratched late from the vault. Here she is on the bars.
Great shoot over their handstand. She didn't really give the judges anything.
Sarah Fiedler's score, we'll wait on that. Before her, Liz McNabb coming in at a 9-8 on the bars. Getting back over to Jamie Schleppenbach. What's the deduction there for touching the beam?
Yeah, that was a big balance check. Normally, if your hands touch the beam, it does count close to a fall. So anywhere from 3 to 5 tenths can be taken for that.
She has not missed a meet on beam this year.
Huge dismount pass there. Back handspring, layout, step out, layout, fall. A little bit of a form break and a step on the landing.
And we'll have to wait to see how much deduction will be taken for touching the beam midway through her routine. Jessie DeZiel and Emily Wong will be up next there for Nebraska. Jenny Covers, the third gymnast to go on floor here for Minnesota. Kind of a fun fan favorite here in this event. She's a junior. Here's her final pass here coming up.
Last pass, ground up, whip half, front layout fall.
Coming back over to the vault in Penn State. And the Gopher fans love that routine. We'll head over to watch Emma Sibson here on vault for Penn State. Team's top performer. She's stuck 3 of the last 5.
Right handspring, front pump. Oh, stuck landing. Wow.
Make it 4 of the last 6.
That was so high.
A 9-9 coming in here for Emma Sibson. Coming back over to Beam and Jessie DeZiel. The top 2 gymnasts in the anchor spots here for Nebraska.
She's one of the most consistent gymnasts I know.
DeZiel and Wong will have to come up with some big scores.
And another
right
fall.
on cue. Jamie Schleppenbach coming in at a 9.55.
I think that's one of the first times I've ever seen Jessie fall.
And that says a lot, because you've known her a long time. As focused as Michigan looked in the afternoon, Nebraska, to me, looks a little distracted here tonight.
And they very well could be. You know, they come in here knowing they have to give an all-but-perfect performance. You know, whether looking at the scores or not. They feel that, they know that, and it can really kind of throw you off.
DeZiel's dismount and strong, but she knows that she had a missed opportunity there.
It's always easier to set a bar instead of chase one.
Good point. Sunny Kato is the last to go here for Illinois on the bars. We will see her also next on the beam as well. First team All Big Ten honoree this year. She was second team last season. We apologize there for the difficulties. We'll try and go back and show you her routine. Of course, we weren't showing the live routine for Sunny Kato, but we'll try and get that back to you. She's 31st in the country and 3rd in the Big Ten there in that event. Here is Sunny Kato once again. There are 4 events going on all at the same time.
Whoa. Saves that there. Almost cast over. Goes into what's called an eagle position. It actually gives you a lot of bonus points. One of the hardest things you can do on the bars. just her dismount. Huge extension. Stuck landing.
A huge landing. And again, that was our playback error. That was not Sunny Kato's error, and she came in as a 9.875. Try to show you as many routines as we can. Some have to be on tape, some are live. We head back to the vault. Sidney, Sanabria, Robles.
Yurchenko layout fall, huge height off the vault, extension, just that little hop on the landing that'll take a tenth or two.
And she came in as a 9.85. Emily Wong now the anchor spot here on beam for Nebraska. The 2012 championship tied for beam. That was in Iowa City. Emily Wong, just a baby, just a sophomore back then. You were at that championships.
I sure was when I saw that routine.
And here she is. As a senior, the State Farm State of Success, the two-time defending Big Ten all-around champ. And she has not lost an all-around competition all year. A perfect 9 for 9.
Back handspring, layout, step out, with such control and ease. Makes it look easy.
So Schleppenbach, a 9.55. DeZiel coming in as a 9.3. Obviously, Nebraska will want to have to drop that DeZiel score if Wong can put up something higher than the 9.55.
Something that's nice about her routine, and she does. She makes it all look easy. No nerves, just nerves of steel. Dismount, round up, double twisting layout.
So solid.
Landing.
Emily Wong, a solid performance when her team needed it the most. Heading back to Lindsay Mable, who began her floor routine just moments ago. Finished 4th on floor in the NCAAs last year. Minnesota's lone first-team All-Big Ten honoree this year.
Great opening, double kite. I love that pass. It's so unique. She gets a lot of bonus points and kind of leaves no room for error.
Mick Stevenson says Lindsay Mable never focuses on winning the all-around. Focuses more on the team win.
And I think that actually is better. I mean, as you're seeing with Nebraska, if you focus on the overall, what you're supposed to do, then what you're kind of trying to beat, then it throws you off a little bit.
Lindsay Mable finishing off her routine, originally scheduled in the anchor spot. Kylie Schermann was switched from the 5th to the anchor spot. Now live, we head back to floor, and there is Kylie Schermann. Back this week on floor. She tweaked her ankle. Back this week. She had been away for the last 2 weeks here on this event.
Whip to a double back. Second pass. Throw layout 1.5, back layout, step out.
Schermann, a junior, a 3-event gymnast here tonight. For her final pass here for the Gophers.
Ending with a double pike. A little under rotated, but she pulled it off.
Her team cheering, the fans cheering. We'll take another look here at the final pass.
A little low even. You know, when you get to the end of your team, you're a little tired, so understandable.
You said in the afternoon you got to keep it simple maybe towards the end of the floor routine or halfway through the evening session, that much closer to determining a champion. Inaugural Big Ten Hockey Tournament Championship game. Wisconsin and Ohio State will face off from the Excel Center in St. Paul. Coverage starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings on BTN and BTN to go. We are halfway through here, the evening session for the Women's Gymnastics Championships. Joining us now is Minnesota head coach Meg Stevenson. Coach, never easy to replace one of your top gymnasts, let alone an all-arounder. You lost Sierra Thompson at the beginning. How do you feel like your team has responded?
Awesome. I'm so proud of them, and we've had some athletes step in, even a freshman on floor, and just do a great job. So I'm really proud of them. They're a tight team, and when they lose one of their own, they know they need to step it up, and so far so good.
And Coach, extremely strong performance on floor. Going into vault, what can we expect to see?
We've got some really fun vaults to watch. They're big, and so we're just going to go out there and let it rip.
Okay, Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
As she mentioned, the freshman Bailey Host replacing Sierra Thompson there on floor. She got a 9.825, so impressive performance there. Some of the other results here after rotation number 2 on the vault, Krystal Welsh, Emma Sibson there with a pair of 9.9s. So we'll look back at Welsh's vault with the 9.9, loved it. And you see Illinois now warming up on the beam. Their bars, 3 9.875s. Mary Jane Horth back in action here for Illinois. We'll take another look here at her bar routine. And Nebraska on the beam. Emily Wong needed to come through with a big score so they could drop that 9.3 for Jessie DeZiel. And the 2-time Big Ten all-around champ coming through. There's a look there at her dismount. Emily Wong with a 9.95. An uncharacteristic 9.3 there for Jessie DeZiel. They do have to count the 9.55 from Jamie Schleppenbach. As Minnesota warms up on the vaults, there's the results there on the floor. Kayla Schlepta, the 9.9. Bailey Host, the 9.825. They didn't even have to count that, but that was the freshman that we saw that Meg Stevenson was talking about. Kayla Schlepta and her routine. One of her passes, Schlepta, we'll see her on the vaults as well. She has competed in every meet in 3 events. You see Penn State still pacing the other 3 teams after session 1. Michigan, a 98.75. So Penn State just slightly below that. And Nebraska, a 98.125. Certainly not the performance that we were expecting from the 2-time defending champs for the Huskers. Your all-around competition here. Joanna Sampson with the 19.775. Right now in second place to Krystal Welsh there for Penn State. Krystal Welsh is not an all-arounder that we really had talked about here at the start. So far, she is in the lead right now in the all-around competition. We watch these 4 teams here finish up their warm-up routines. Michigan, we've talked about what they put up in the afternoon session, the 197.55. Where does that rank? How about the 3rd best score in championship history? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 of the top 6 scores of all the teams and all the history and all the championships, and there they sit and wait and watch. Now, Michigan was in that position because they finished third in their quad meet last weekend. Certainly a disappointment. They had a chance to win an outright regular season Big Ten championship. They did not. They knew their backs that were up against the wall. They came out with third highest championship score performance, something that impressed you.
I would say what impressed me the most was the 10. I mean, they were extremely solid and consistent on every event, extremely aggressive. We didn't really see any mistakes. And then to finish it off, the perfect 10.
I thought it was interesting, if you missed the beginning, you had never seen a perfect 10 before in your career.
No, I've not. I've never gotten one, and I've never seen one. It's every gymnast's dream, and when I saw that, I think I was more excited than her.
That says a lot, because their team was awfully excited. This building absolutely erupted when it happened. We're going to start out on bars here with Penn State, Sammy Musto. He has led off on this event all year long.
Huge release move. A little bit form break there. You can see her legs were a little bent. This is just now double layout, stuck landing.
That's the way to get it started. Remember, Penn State leading the other three teams going into this third rotation. GIanna O'Connor starting things off here on beam for Illinois. All around her, she's gotten a 39 plus in her scores the last 3 meets, 5 of the last 6 meets.
First flight series here. That handspring layout step out and another fall. Again, that's an automatic 5/10 deduction. We've been seeing a lot of that this afternoon, or this evening.
This event is head coach Kim Landra's specialty. They are the best in the Big Ten as a team, 8th in the country.
Straddle jump, standing back layout, step out. A lot of times you see someone start that with a back handspring so they can get enough power. But she did it in standing. Very difficult. Back handspring layout, step out to a gainer full with a stuck landing. Well, at least she didn't let it affect her.
Nope. Bailey Holst in a lineup change with Sierra Thompson out. Bailey Holst will lead off on vault here for Minnesota.
Shevchenko layout fall. Great height off the vault and a stuck landing. Well done.
How about the freshmen being inserted? They're on floor, and then they're on vault and coming through big time there for the Gophers. We head back over to the bars for Penn State. Alex Witt, the junior.
Starting off her routine with a giant half to a Jaeger. Well done. Straight connection to a bail to the low bar.
Alex Witt replaced Nicole Medvitz, who has really kind of a torn labrum. And there you see her end her routine.
Nice double layout, just the landing.
Going to Jenny Lang of Nebraska here on the floor.
First pass, huge double pike.
This is only her 3rd time here competing on this event.
With half front layout full.
Jamie's Schleppenbach for her, reporting a 9.8 for Nebraska. Jenny Lang's season and career high at 9.85.
Last pass here. Front layout roll, front tuck. Great control.
Jenny Lang wrapping up her floor routine. We'll head back to the beam here for Illinois. Amber C, one of the seniors, moments ago with her routine. Was a first team All Big Ten honoree. That's her third career All Big Ten nomination. Kim Landris has said her senior year has been her best year.
Back handspring, back layout, step out. A little bit of flex feet there. Considered a form break, but very solid. Another standing back layout, step out. Just like bars, they have huge difficulty on being. Little balance check there. Hangs on. Just her dismount. Gainer layout pull with a stuck landing.
Amber C following up GIanna O'Connor's 9.3 that she got there on the beam. Illinois will have to put up some scores here. Going back to the vault.
Go layout fall. Again, huge height off the vault with a stuck landing. Coach seems pretty happy about that.
Heading back over to Nicole Medvitz of Penn State. This is a tough event for her. I mentioned the small tear in her labrum that has flared up recently. But Thursday she swung on bars and did a normal routine, so here she is here today.
Beautiful Takachev. I couldn't imagine swinging bars with a torn labrum.
Gymnastics is not for the weak, is it?
No, not at all. Hitting every handstand beautifully. Beautiful double back, stuck landing.
And a courageous routine there for the freshman. Nicole Medvitz, not 100% healthy, but she looked good on that routine, recording a tying her career high with a 9.85. Again, all of these events taking place here at once. We'll head back to the vault, and Jenny covers here from Minnesota.
Great vault there.
Sidney Sanabria Robles, the all-arounder there for Penn State. In the fourth spot.
Starting out the giant half to a huge Jaeger. Got a little close there, but I doubt the judges will take anything. Just her dismount here. Great extension double layout, stuck landing.
Just a solid performance there. Jessie DeZiel of Nebraska just began her floor routine.
Has a huge opening pass here. She does a full twisting double pike. Stuck landing.
Her entire career, she's been named first team All Big Ten. 3 straight seasons.
Second pass. 2.5 twisting layout to punch front. Beautifully done.
There's nothing in here.
Wong will graduate. This could be Jessie DeZiel's team here next year.
Last pass. Huge double pike. Another stuck landing. Very well done routine for Jessie.
We'll head back to the vault for Minnesota and Kayla Schleppenbach, the senior. Jenny Covers reporting that season high of a 9.9 before her.
Yurchenko layup vault. Again, great height off the vault. She just had those few little steps of landing.
Her score coming in is a 9.725. Krystal Welsh. Here on the bars, we saw that she is in the all-around lead here going into the third rotation.
Great start. Should have run a handstand. Huge release move. I just love when they do the release moves and they're sky high. Double front out, stuck landing. Probably the hardest dismount we have seen today.
And she executed it to a 9.85. Next to last, Kylie Schermann here from Minnesota. And Lindsay Mable, of course, will be in the anchor spot for the Gophers.
Another beautiful Yurchenko layout full. I'd say the entire team, the height they get off that vault is impressive. Only deduction will be the step at the landing.
9.775 is her score here coming in. That you expect for a routine like that? A vault like that?
I would say it's a little low, to be honest.
Go back to the floor here for Nebraska and Hollie Blanske. The decision came down to Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa State, Denver, Washington, and Arkansas. Minnesota native. Also just a sophomore.
I would say I love Nebraska's choreography. It's so fun.
What makes it different from the others?
It's just unique. You know, they really have fun while they do it, and I'd say they add a lot more choreography. They're dancing a lot more than everybody else.
Love the way she ends that. Jessie DeZiel reporting the 9.925 on 4 before her. I'll try to update you on Blanske's score here before the third rotation ends. Heading over to Sarah Fiedler here on the beam. Gymnast who just started competing in the all-around this year. She was slated for the all-around here tonight, but was taken out of the vault, so she is in 3 events here this evening. There she is on her dismount, just a slight little hop. Stouter over for the bars for Penn State. Has had the team's best bar score this year.
Starting off with a beautiful Takachev. Catches it by her fingertips.
Interesting back and forth battle here between the Nittany Lions and the Wolverines. And how about that? Wow!
Stuck landing. I would expect close to a 10 on that one.
Would you really? Lindsay Mable here on the vault, tied for 5th in the NCAAs last year. A sophomore. And here she goes.
Another Yurchenko layup full. Huge height.
Oh! Goodness!
I don't think you can land any better than that? I don't know.
Lindsay Mable, take another look.
That's like perfection right there.
And the judges rewarding her a perfect 10. Yes, you got it, Gophers. The third 10 in school history and the first since 2002. So we have seen 2 perfect 10s here today.
I want one. This is an impressive night.
All 3 of those 10s in Minnesota history have all come on the vaults. And the second 10 of the day, GIanna Sampson getting the first 10 there on the floor. And how about that? Lindsay Mable. Can't get better than that. We'll head back to Emily Wong here on floor. Join her in the middle, always fun to watch.
Getting ready for our last pass here. Answering 1.5 to sting layout.
Emily Wong. So enthusiastic. Won floor last weekend. The Nebraska fans love it. And Emily Wong,
high score,
waiting for her score. How about that fan base that comes out? So impressive, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. You're not going to take much off of that score. And Emily Wong got a perfect 10 for that floor routine. So back-to-back 10s. Lindsay Mable, a 10 on the vaults. Emily Wong, a 10 on the floor. What in the world is going on?
I don't know, but it's like a gymnast dream come true. Nothing's more rewarding than hard work paid off. And a 10 is about as good as it gets.
The 2 seniors and a sophomore rewarded for perfection. Emily Wong, you see there, the perfect 10 on floor. And she wasn't the only one here in this rotation who got perfection. How about the sophomore, Lindsay Mable? No deductions on this vault. Here at Penn State, BTN Gymnastics presented by Pure Silk, session 2 of the Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championships, and we have one more rotation. And joining us now is the head coach, Jeff Thompson, who his team has led for the first 3 rotations. Coach, what have you liked most about your team so far tonight?
Well, we have a lot of energy, and we're sticking everything. I don't know what they have for lunch today, but we're going to make sure we eat it in 2 weeks for regionals.
And Coach, going into your last rotation, you're leading after 3 rotations, and the girls probably know that. Do they feel the pressure? Is it going to affect them? What have you told them going into this last event?
Well, what we talked about for today is just go out there and be us. You know, our gymnastics is as good as it is. It's good enough to win on the right day. If that's today, I don't know. You know, we got to go 49.6 on beam to beat what Michigan posted in the first session. But, you know, anything's possible. And if we go up and we do wobble-free routines like we do in practice, we stick all our dismounts, we'll let the judges sort it out. So that's why we're playing tonight.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch. And, Coach, thanks again for being a great host.
Well, I hope the fans at home can tell just how much fun it is in Rec Hall here, because it's loud and it's exciting.
It is, absolutely. Thank you for the time.
You're welcome.
Penn State, the 4th time it has hosted the Big Ten Championships. We go back and look at the 3rd rotation results on the vault. Lindsay Mable, there is the perfect 10. The 3rd in school history. Shawn Johnson's 3rd in her career that she has seen. And you see Penn State warming up there on the beam, but their bar results after the 3rd rotation, Cassidy Stouter with a 9.9. And Nicole Medvitz, the 9.85 with the partially torn labrum.
It's definitely intense going into the last rotation.
It is. And on the floor, everybody wants to finish out on floor. The Illini get to do it, but on beam, 3-9 or 4-9-8. And here is Liz McNabb's routine. And finally, the floor for Nebraska. Emily Wong there with the perfect 10, the first on floor since 2005 for that program. The last perfect 10 for Nebraska, Janelle Giblin, back in March of 2013. So there you see the setup. Penn State, 147.975. Hard to believe that right now, at this point, they were ahead of Michigan. They are ahead of Michigan after 3 rotations. Minnesota next. Nebraska right now in 3rd place, at least in the evening session results. So we have the 4th and final rotation. You see the Michigan Wolverines sitting, waiting, watching to see if their 197.55 would be good enough to hold up here after the final rotation. Mable. Lindsay Mable, after getting that 10 on the vault, has taken the all-around lead, followed by Hollie Blanske and Welsh. And the Sampson score, of course, is the one that she had after the 3rd rotation before she got her perfect 10 there on floor. And there is GIanna Sampson. We've seen 3 perfect 10s. Sampson, the first Michigan gymnast to record a 10 on floor in the postseason and at the Big Ten championships. And now the 66th person in Michigan history with the perfect 10. Talk about perfect 10s. How about this for perfection in championship history? We have Mable and Sampson and Wong here that we've seen here today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 perfect 10s leading up to this point. 6 leading up to this point, and we've seen 3 today.
Impressive. I'd say it's one of the best nights for me as well.
Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the good luck charm.
I'll just have to come back.
Being our analyst for the first time this year, we've enjoyed having you with us all season long.
It's been great to be here.
And you've always said it's fun to see this team competition. You did that Olympic thing, so you were never able to do college gymnastics.
The team aspect of collegiate gymnastics really is what makes it fun. You see all the team members coming together and really living the experience as one.
And I liked your question to Jeff Thompson about this team. Do they know that they're in the lead? And he said we have to have a wobble-free routine. So here we go. Krystal Welsh leading them off to see if they can close the deal on a championship here at home.
Tight series here. Back handspring, layout, step out. I feel like that's the first true test. Switch leap straddle jump. Still solid as ever.
As we're watching Krystal Welsh, I'm watching the Michigan Wolverines, and they're all glued to the beam side of the floor. They know what's at stake.
This one here, back handspring, layout, full gainer, and the perfectly stuck landing.
One routine up, one wobble-free routine down. Krystal Welsh, that's the way to lead things off here for the leaders going into the 4th rotation. We head over to Nebraska and Jenny Lang here on vaults.
Yurchenko layout full, great height and extension. One tiny step on the landing. Should only be a 10.
Well, her score coming in is a 9.85. Jenny covers here from Minnesota, leading things off on the bars.
Starting out with giant half to Jaeger. Great height. A little form break there. You can see the legs come apart and her toes are a little flexed. Double layout.
Wow.
Great stick.
Her score coming in is a 9.775. Going back to Nebraska, Ariel Martin, the freshman, the redshirt freshman. This is her only event tonight.
Another Yurchenko left ball. Great height. Stuck landing.
Heading back over to the balls and Kayla Schlepto. Her career high is a 9.85.
Shoot over to the low bar, hitting perfect handstand. Nice release move, not getting quite as much height as the others. Giant fall straight to double back, stuck landing.
Some of the nerves are now gone here for these gymnasts, and they are bringing their best.
I'm getting nervous. There's too much going on.
This is when it gets fun, Sean Johnson.
There's so much on the line.
Desiree Stevens for Nebraska in the third spot here on vault.
Yurchenko that vault, great height extension, stuck landing.
Ariel Martin, the 9.85, and Desiree Stevens, her score coming in as a 9.8. Kelsey Everly now on floor here for Illinois. Before her, Jordan Nailway, career high 9.85. She's done 4 all year long, Everly has. She got her career high at Penn State this year.
Handspring, layout 1.5 to back layout step out. I think that combination is so pretty.
Kelsey Everly, the junior, her only event here tonight, and it was a good one. Heading back over to the bars, Bailey Holst. Originally, she was only scheduled to be on bars here tonight. Has picked up a couple events with Sierra Thompson out with that upper back injury. Minnesota playing it safe with her being out.
Great release move there. Showing a giant fold to Takacha. Just her dismount left. Fold twisting double back, stuck landing. Everybody's really ramping it up now.
They are. Kayla Schlepto before her, tying her career high with a 9.85. We will wait on Holt's score. A moment ago, Randy Lau on the beam for Penn State. This is what happened a moment ago.
And a big fall.
Yikes. That was a moment ago. Here now are live as she picks up her routine again.
They can still drop one score, so. Front aerial. Big balance check there, but hangs on. Another one of those moments where the fall kind of rattles you up a little bit.
Randy Lau, one of the gymnasts who's had to fill in the place of Lexi Carroll, who's had the Achilles injury for Penn State, out for the year.
Round off, double twisting layout, stuck landing. Great way to finish that.
An excellent way to finish. Hollie Blanske, vaulting for Nebraska now. She is in contention here for the all-around competition. Here she is on vault.
Yurchenko that falls great height. Enjoy to the mat.
Tying a season high with a 9.9. And a big hug there from Dan Kendig. Heading over to Lindsay Mable on bars for Minnesota. Last year's Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
Giant half to Ginger. Just her dismount left. Voltage and double back. Stop playing.
Just hold it for a little bit and enjoy it. Lindsay Mable, coming off the perfect 10, gets a career-high 9-9 in that performance. Heading back over to Emily Wong of Nebraska. This event ends with Wong and DeZiel in the 5 and 6 spot.
Take a layout ball, stuck landing again. One after another.
Believe it or not, a 9-8 there for Emily Wong.
Really? I'd say that's low.
Score coming in is a 9-8. Hollie Blanske before her, a 9-9. Maddie Hanley of Minnesota. Here on her bar routine. She's done every meet on bars.
In the fall.
Yikes. And so as you were talking about before, she's got some time to regroup herself here. We'll come back to that. Right now, we'll join Jessie DeZiel here in the anchor spot for Nebraska.
Check out that ball. Huge height. Stuck landing. At least a 9-9. Come on, judges.
You think?
I think so.
Came in as a 9-9-2-5. We head back to bars. And we rejoin Maddie Hanley.
Just her distant rear. Great double layout and stuck landing. Great way to finish that routine.
Before her, Lindsay Mable, of course, a career high of 9-9. Before her, Bailey Holst, a career high 9-9 here on this event. Minnesota finishing strong here on bars. What's at stake? A Big Ten championship. All four of these teams here chasing Michigan, which finished the afternoon session at 197.55. We'll head back to Beam and pick up the end of Nicole Medvitz's Beam routine. Now, Penn State has had a couple of falls here in this event. Nicole Medvitz finishing strong, but before her, Randy Lau, the 8.75. They're going to want to drop that score. They have to count Emma Sibson's 9.075. So Penn State coming into the fourth and final rotation had a slight lead after 3 rotations on where Michigan was after their 3 rotations in the afternoon session. Caitlin Rayon from Minnesota is the replacement here for Sierra Thompson. Maddie Hanley with a 9.325. Meg Stevenson said if they hit all 5 of their routines, they weren't going to use Rayon.
Double back. A little hop there on the landing, but overall good routine.
All they needed was a simple routine from her. They needed a hit routine from her. So Sidney Sanabria Robles here for Penn State.
Right handspring layout, step out.
Penn State likes to say that Beam is one of their strongest events. All practice long, all week long, they've had parameters they've needed to set, and they have been wobble-free in practice, but as we know, it's much different when it gets to competition time.
When you're under pressure, everything changes.
Penn State has its stars here to end.
Side aerial. Little balance check there. layout 1.5. Well done.
We'll wait on Sidney Sanabria Robles' score. Nicole Medvitz score, tying a career high at a 9.875. Erin Buchanan finishing things up here on the floor for Illinois. Second team all Big Ten honoree.
Huge toe back. Little under rotated there.
She has not gotten lower than a 9.825 this year on this event.
That under rotation could cost her a 10th or 2.
Her teammates on floor, they've had 3 straight career highs that have been tied. Kelsey Everly, 9.825. Sarah Fiedler, a 9.85. And GIanna O'Connor with the 9.9. So 3 straight. Make it 4 straight career highs. Jordan Nailway with the 9.85. So we will wait on Erin Buchanan's score. And we see Michigan waiting to see what its fate will be. Minnesota now done there on bars. And Meg Stevenson and the Gophers shared a regular season championship there with the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And you see the Buckeyes and the Hawkeyes waiting. They competed in the afternoon session. Cassidy Stouter, the last to go. And how about all eyeballs on you here in this building when you're the last to go and a possible Big Ten championship on the line?
It's all about the experience. That's why they put the anchors in. Great back layout step out series.
We won a championship on Stouter's hands. If it mathematically can happen, she is the best beam score this year for her team. First team all Big Ten honoree.
Switch lead high jump. Looking a little extra cautious. Taking her time on everything.
Penn State needed a 49.575 going into this event. Again, they will have to count a fall in this final rotation.
Jump back tight. Again, you can see by the smile on her face. She likes that. Cartwheel, gainer layout full with a stuck landing. Should be a high score.
Second pass here for Amber C on the floor. Wrapping things up.
Big 2.5 twisting layout.
She's gotten a 9.9 10 times this year.
Last pass here. Front layout 1.5 to a back layout step out. Nice way to finish your routine.
Amber C, we've seen her on vaults, beam, and floor in her senior season, determined to make this her best year. So 4 rotations are now done, and there is a championship to crown. Will it be Michigan? Was the beam counting a floor? Was the beam routine here for Penn State enough? We'll let you know when we come back. Gymnastics on BTN, presented by Pure Silk, moisturizing shave cream for women, for legs that look and feel like Pure Silk. 4 rotations done, 2 sessions complete. And here are your results after the 4th and final rotation. Nebraska really making a charge there on the vault. Jessie DeZiel with her 9.925. Don't count the Huskers out. DeZiel there with a solid performance. Minnesota didn't have to count the Hanley 9.325. A couple of 9.9s. Lindsay Mable in contention there for the all-around. see Bailey Holst really filling in some important spots there for Minnesota here tonight. On the beam, Nicole Medvitz, a 9.875 time with Cassidy Stouter. And here is Medvitz there on her dismount. Medvitz, one of the freshmen there for Penn State. Floor results, a couple of 9.9s there on the floor. Amber C ending her Big Ten competition as a senior with a 9.9. And here is GIanna O'Connor, who also had a 9.9 there for the Illini. O'Connor just a sophomore and an all-arounder there for Illinois. So after those 4 rotations are done, the results of the championship. Michigan, the 1.9755 holds true and holds up. Nebraska leapfrogging a bunch of teams there at the end. And there is the Michigan Wolverines being handed the Big Ten championship trophy. They had to sit and wait for hours to see if it would be theirs, and it is.
Well deserved. They had the meat of their life.
The 3rd best championship score in the history of the Big Ten championships, and Michigan with the 20th Big Ten championship. 21 if you include the regular season title from last season. It's the first season they have counted regular season titles. It began in 2013. The last time that Michigan won here at the championships, 2011. And the Wolverines back on top after having a chance to win the outright title a week ago at the quad meet. They fell to the afternoon session and then came out victorious. Bev Blocky, we heard her at the beginning. She said, I kind of felt like this was coming, and her team certainly did respond. Here is your all-around results. Lindsay Mable, the sophomore from Minnesota, your all-around champ with a perfect 10 here this evening, I should say. Our Pure Silk performance of the meet, Lindsay Mable, and here is her perfect 10. Let's take another look. Huh, Sean Johnson?
I'll watch it again, that's for sure. Perfection to a T.
So your all-around champ goes to the sophomore. Your Big Ten team champ. Nebraska had won the last 2, and Michigan, coming out of the afternoon session, the first team in history to do so, victorious. The 4th time that Penn State has hosted the Big Ten championships. 2 sessions now complete, and Michigan, the victors, it's part of their fight song, and they were victorious here, making history. And head coach Bev Blocky joining us now. Coach, no team has come out of the afternoon session to do what you guys did. How did you do it here today?
Well, we were on a mission ever since last weekend, and we knew right from every day of practice that we had this week what we were going to need to come in here and do today, and they were determined, and we came in, we wanted to make a statement, and I think we did.
And Coach, a perfect 10, a championship win, sitting through that last session. What were your girls saying to one another? How difficult was it?
You know, it's just as hard to sit up there and watch as it is to be out here on the floor. Actually, probably harder because we have no control of what's going on when we're sitting up there. So I don't want to be in the afternoon session again and have to do it this way. We'll do our best to be in the evening session next year.
Well, your 197.55 ranks as the 3rd highest score in championship history. And Coach, you have been at Michigan now for 25 seasons. When your backs were up against the wall, I'm curious, how does this performance rank with some of the others that you've seen some of your teams do?
You know, everyone is different and unique and special, but this one is definitely right up there with the very best of them. And I'm so proud of every one of these young ladies for the work that they put in this week, for the determination, for, you know, at this point of the season, everybody's bodies are sore, and to go through what you have to get that stick, to hold that landing, they put the work in, and it showed up and paid off today.
We saw Joanna Sampson record that 10. She opened up the floodgates. What was your reaction to some of the perfect scores coming through here tonight?
Well, you know, there's great gymnastics in the Big Ten Conference and a lot of really awesome teams that are going to do a great job at regionals. And I hope that we have a bunch of us competing against each other again at the national championship.
We're just seeing some pictures of GIanna's perfect 10. Put in perspective what she has meant for this Michigan gymnastics program.
She's been so rock solid, and her determination, you know, her work ethic. You know, she's one of the most intense athletes I've ever coached, and she's harder on herself than any coach could ever be. And what she expects is perfection, and that's why you can see it show up on the competition floor.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the championship. Good luck at regionals. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Bev Plotke and the Michigan Wolverines, and there is your individual champions here. Lindsay Mable, your all-around champ. Of course, you got that perfect 10. That's tough to beat there on vault.
Extremely tough to beat. I mean, you can't get any better.
Literally, you cannot. So Lindsay Mable taking home the vault championship. GIanna Sampson, who had not won an individual championship yet coming into today, gets the bar championship there at the 9.925. 7 others tied for the 9.9. Emily Wong taking home the beam individual title, a 9.95 for her. And the floor, you don't often see this. Sampson and Emily Wong, you don't see Emily Wong there, but Sampson and Emily Wong tying for that title with a couple of 10s there on floor. So we will wrap things up and tie this up in a nice little bow from Penn State University here. The Big Ten championships going to the Wolverines. Welcome back here to Penn State. There is your official floor results. Of course, Sampson and Wong, they're tying for the floor title with a pair of perfect 10s. And as the team results, as we have talked about, Michigan winning its 21st Big Ten title, its 20th Big Ten championship, putting up the 197.55. Never been done where an afternoon team in an afternoon session has come, and that score has stood strong through the evening session. Your all Big Ten honorees that were voted on and awarded here this week: Sonny Kato, Amber C. for Illinois, Bielstein, Sampson, Shepard of Michigan, Cartwright, the lone Michigan State honoree, Mable there for Minnesota, DeZiel, Wong for Nebraska, Miller, Schaefer, and Stouter rounded off. And there is your second team all Big Ten honorees. Again, the selection process implemented last year, the top 10 gymnasts based on RQS points. 10 points to the #1 athlete, 1 point to the #10 athlete. And so far, that's how those awards are handed out. Gymnast of the Year, Freshman of the Year. This is fresh news, folks. And Coach of the Year. This purposely waited until after these 2 sessions are done. Emily Wong, your 2014 Gymnast of the Year. Nicole Artz, the Freshman of the Year. And Meg Stevenson, Coach of the Year. Speaking of Minnesota, Meg Stevenson, she is proud to have a sophomore on her team. Lindsay Mable joining us now, the all-around champ. First of all, take us through that perfect 10 on the vault.
You know, I was totally unexpected. I went and I just do what I was doing in the gym, and we just talk about really seeing your landing and holding for 1, 2, 3. It's what we've been working on. So, you know, it just clicked today, and I couldn't be more excited.
You've had a pretty rock-solid season, I'd say. Maybe a couple mistakes here and there, but you came back with a vengeance, finishing your last event with that perfect 10. How are you going to celebrate? What's next?
You know, just enjoy a night with my team and my family, and then, you know, go back in the gym and just focus on all the little things that we've been, you know, working on, and just maintain those for regionals, and, you know, do our best at regionals and at home, which is awesome, and, you know, keep it going for nationals.
Well, Lindsay, congratulations on the all-around title. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So strong in her freshman year, and she picked up where she left off here in her sophomore season. One of the top all-arounders here to watch, and of course she'll be around another couple of years. We say goodbye to the Emily Wongs and the GIanna Sampsons, but the conference future looks bright with the Lindsay Mables still on board.
Extremely bright. I'd say with the perfect 10s we saw tonight, have set a bar very high for the next girls to step in. So.
And John Johnson, I think you were the good luck charm. You said coming into today you had never seen a perfect 10. You got to see 3 here in the afternoon and the evening sessions. We enjoyed having you, of course, as a part of our broadcast this season. Any lasting impressions as you watch this college gymnastics season, the Big Ten flavor?
I would say lasting impressions, I wish I was a college gymnast.
Do you?
It's been so much fun. How competitive they are, it's been a blast. And the 10s, of course, are a huge lasting impression.
It was a blast, and it was fun. And that's going to wrap it up for our season coverage for the women's gymnastics. Remember, though, next week, the men's gymnastics championships coming up Friday and Saturday from Lincoln, Nebraska. For the Olympic medalist, John Johnson, I'm Lisa Byington. We'll say so long and congrats to the victors.